first one in here. How you doing, man? Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to be doing a live stream on the Austin Custom Brass page right now from my house. So, welcome. Obviously, we're all sheltered here and safe and quarantined in Kansas City, just like Pete. Hope everyone's doing well out there, staying safe, washing those hands and all that. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. So I'm going to be doing a bit of a mouthpiece comparison because we offer a lot of mouthpieces, and not just in different sizes. We have a ton of different backbores, and we have a bunch of different blanks as well. And I buy a lot of them because I like to experiment a lot, and I thought this video would be timed pretty well because everyone has a lot of time to practice now, so there's no real better time to be switching your mouthpieces or trying new gear. You don't have to worry about the whole trial by fire thing, trying a new mouthpiece on the gig and then cracking notes or whatever. And for reference, I'm going to be playing on the Adams A1 trumpet, which is one of the brand new offerings from the folks at Adams. You can see that there. And I'm going to be playing, I think, 7 different mouthpieces that I own. And these are going to be our CB mouthpiece, which is a copy of what Clifford Brown played on. And again, feel free in the comments to chime in and ask questions or anything. Or after the video is over, you can give me a call on the shop line or send an email. I do have like a large chunk, most of the mouthpieces from the shop at my house, and I've been shipping mouthpieces this week. So that's awesome. And I got to ship some horns to customers yesterday. So looking up over here. So let's see. So the CB mouthpiece is kind of a copy of a mouthpiece that Bach made. That was the 17C1 was the size, which I believe is no longer in production, or they changed the name. You can check it out right there. It's kind of a very cushioned rim, as they call it. And Bach actually copied that mouthpiece from Rudy Muck, who is another great mouthpiece maker as well. And excuse me, I have both of those originals as well, but I don't like how they play as well as the ones that we have with the modern tooling, and obviously I'm a little biased. But I do like to collect older mouthpieces just because it's kind of cool to see how they were made back then and their quality. So this one, the first one I have here, is what we call our traditional blank. As you can see, thanks, John. Welcome to the stream. So this is what we call our traditional blank. As you can see, it looks like your standard, Mark, what's up? Your standard everyday mouthpiece, like a Bach mouthpiece or like a Yamaha or any number of Pickett, any number of mouthpieces. And we, I believe, made this mouthpiece primarily for people who are playing in a orchestral setting or like a symphonic setting, and they want to play one of our mouthpieces, but they don't want to play what's called our standard blank because the principal trumpet player, yes, I can. So let's see if it focuses a bit there. So there's a close-up of that traditional blank. Maybe it's focusing on my face, that's why. And there's the inside as well. So what I was saying was, so we made the traditional blank so that they would blend in and look like your standard traditional mouthpiece. So like maybe the section leader wouldn't yell at you for having something weird or looking a little different. You want to use like, okay, you got to play a Bach mouthpiece or something because they're biased, or that's like just the way that they were taught. Same thing with when students come in and they're like, okay, my teacher told me to buy this mouthpiece, and we're like, okay, well, this plays really well, but it doesn't look the same. But then they're afraid to buy it because their teacher might get mad. So we give them their traditional blank, and everything is fine. And this is actually my kind of my daily driver. That this one right here is what I've been playing on mostly. And this one is our A1 backbore. as well on it. Hey, Josh McDonald, JJ Mack. This one is our A1 backbore, I believe, which is fairly open, and I feel that it helps a lot with how cushioned and like fairly medium shallow the cup is. It helps to kind of offset it. So I'm going to play a little bit on this with, again, the Adams A1 trumpet. So you guys can hear what this, again, this is the CB Trad Blank with the A1 backbore on it, and the standard 27 or 26. I don't know. I can't keep track nowadays of which mouthpieces I open up and which ones I don't. So cool. Oh, Pete, you have a question. Let's see. Advantages of bigger versus smaller backboard. Yeah, of course. So backboards for me will change the resistance. It all depends on player preference, and it also depends on I think a lot the horn you're playing, and on thank you Pete. That the A1 is a really awesome trumpet. It depends on the horn you're playing, and it depends on the cup of your mouthpiece a lot. I think for me, with a shallower mouthpiece, I like to play something that's like a little bigger because it helps, with that resistance. It makes it a little more open. So if you're playing like tight on tight, for me, it backs up too much. Thanks, John. So I married the A1 with this one to open it up a little bit. And also the vice versa as well. You can put like a tighter backbore on like a bigger mouthpiece. But again, it's all player preference. And a lot of players on C trumpet especially try to go with the more open backbore in general because they want that like really big orchestral sound. But you can use different backboards for different situations. Like we make two-piece mouthpieces as well, which in fact is a good segue into the next one. And you can change the backboards on your well. So this is what's called our standard blank mouthpiece, and you can see there. And this is a two-piece, so it has a gold-plated top and a raw brass backboard because I was too lazy to have it plated because I wanted to play it faster. So I just got it in raw brass. So this one again is a two-piece. It does unscrew here, and our threads are kind of the industry standard as well, which is the Warburton threading that everyone uses. So they'll be compatible with any other backboard or top, most of them on the market. And this is our KA3 backbore, which is one of our newer backboards. It's a commercial backbore, so this is quite tight and very efficient. And I use this mostly for wedding work and if I'm playing some more demanding kind of commercial stuff. And I like it a lot for those. This one does have, I believe, your standard 27 throat on it as well. I haven't opened this one up. I know that for sure because you would have to open up both parts. I didn't feel like doing that. And plus, I think it plays very well with a 27 throat as well. So the KA3 backboard, it's been a lot of fun. So let's give this one a little try. And I can talk a little bit more about what throat size does for me as well. actually been a while since I've played this mouthpiece. What's up, Tom? And it's so efficient in that I've been playing the larger backbore mostly, which was the last one I played, the A1 backbore. So playing this one, you kind of have to back off a little bit because it's really efficient. So if you try to put too much air through it too quickly, it'll back up on you because it doesn't need that much air. It's a lot easier. So if you back off on it a little bit. Yeah, exactly. There's like Trent is saying, there's a lot of front on the KA backbores too. It's like pretty good. You do lose like a tiny bit of efficiency with the two-piece we find because there's always that little gap of loss of vibration between those two. So one piece is good, but the advantage of the two-piece, of course, is that you can interchange everything. So if you're like me and you want to order a bunch of mouthpieces, it's a little cheaper than buying a bunch of one-piece mouthpieces. Awesome, thank you, John. MB3C. Yes, I will do that same on the previous mouthpiece, which is the Trumpet Blank with the A1 backbore. Let's see. To me, it's a bit wider of a sound than the other one. The other one is like much more front to the note. I don't know if you guys could hear that over the mic as well. So again, that was the standard Blank two-piece CD mouthpiece. Thanks, Jeremy. And this one is really cool. This is like probably, I want to say, our newest Blank. This is the Ultralight Blank here, which I know a few customers have been loving so far. It's kind of like a skeletonized mouthpiece. Basically, as much metal as we could take off of the mouthpiece without it, having a hole in it or something. You can see how close it comes to the top there. If my camera will want to focus on it. There we go. So this one has, again, this is a one piece, but I put the KA3 backbore on it, and this is another one that I like to use on wedding gigs and stuff. And actually, one cool thing to talk about resistance with me and with a lot of customers, we find sometimes a customer will come into the store and they'll come in and like, okay, I want a large bore trumpet or I want like very open backbore. Most of the time, the first thing that I do, or some of the other guys in the shop do, is hand them something big. And then like 90% of the time, they'll play it and be like, oh, this is perfect, thank you. This is very like efficient and tight. And we're like, well, that's like the biggest backbore we have. And they're like, oh, that's really weird. And so what happens a lot of the time is if you're playing something too large for you, your body will kind of compensate for that, and it will create its own resistance. So it will feel like it's tight, even though it's not. For example, I've been playing an A5 as well, which is one of the more lead, like commercially kind of horns that Adams makes. And to me, it felt really tight, and I couldn't figure out why, if it was me or the instrument or whatever. So I put a bigger backbore mouthpiece on it, and I played it, and it felt tight still. And I was like, this is weird. Maybe I need something bigger. So then I put this mouthpiece on it, which has a commercial backbore, and it worked really well. And I was like, oops, I forgot that happened. And most of these also have again, they have 27 throats on them, which is like the standard throat size. When we get into the heavier weight mouthpieces, most of them I've opened up to like a 26, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, and in measuring terms, it isn't, but it changes the mouthpiece a whole lot. I find that stuff with a heavier weight can benefit a lot by opening up the throat by a little bit. So anyway, Ultralight 2 looks really funky in the horn. It's cool to feel the balance, and because you're so used to a normal weighted mouthpiece, but this one is like quite light. So. So again, this mouthpiece, with all the weight we shaved and the metal off of it, it vibrates a lot more than something with more weight on it. So you get a lot of those high-end overtones, which is really cool. Which is something that you kind of lose with like a heavier weight mouthpiece, but the advantage to a heavier weight mouthpiece is that you get a little more core to your sound. So it all depends on what you like as a player and what you need out of your mouthpiece, which is why we offer so many blanks, because as we know, every player is different. So we like to work with players with trying different blanks, and because they could not like one mouthpiece and then play the same mouthpiece, like the same size, same throat and everything in a different blank and then love it. So it's actually changed the mouthpiece a whole lot. Speaking of different blank, we're moving on. I actually just got this from the platers the other day, this week. This is our A8 mouthpiece, which is made for the Adams A8 trumpet. This has, if you can see here, very, very fine threading on it, because this is an integral mouthpiece for the A8 trumpet. And I got this because I'm having Adams build me a new trumpet right now, and it'll be ready in like a few months or something, 3 months or something like that, I want to say. So we had to make this ahead of time so I could get used to it. This one I put I believe the A1 backbore on again, same as the first mouthpiece I played, but the throat is opened up a little bit to a 26. So these are pretty much the same except for the blank. So this one, even though it is made for the A8 trumpet, yes, we do custom mouthpieces. If you want to, we have a mouthpiece line. If you want to call us, call our number 816-410-0826 and dial extension 700. That'll get you to the mouthpiece line, or you can shoot us an email at mpcsales@austincustombrass.com, or you can shoot us an email at info@austincustombrass.com. We can help you out there too. We do a lot of work, custom work. Sorry. So even though this is made to be put in the Adams A8, it can fit, as you can see, into a normal trumpet very well. So I've actually yet to play this mouthpiece, so this is the first time I've actually put it in an instrument. So let's see how this one works. terms of how this one plays for me, it's pretty close to the first Mouthpiece. I don't think it has quite as round of a sound as I like out of the traditional Blank Mouthpiece, which was this one. But it is, again, designed for an integral horn. So when I get my actual trumpet, I'm sure it'll be great. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the last three. And these ones are a bit heavier than the last ones. So this is, again, the same size mouthpiece. This is the CB mouthpiece in the modern Blank. You see right there. And this one is also short-shanked, and that's standard on all of our modern Blank mouthpieces for people that like the intonation change and how it plays on the shorter shank size. And we make this primarily for players who are used to playing stuff like one-end mouthpieces or like Lotus or whatever, and they want like something a little heavier and short shank. And this is the mouthpiece that I actually played for the longest, and then switched over because why not? That's one of the good things about working on a place that makes their own mouthpieces is I get to buy a lot of mouthpieces. So this is the modern Blank again. This one I did open up to a 26 throat as well. I was saying earlier that the heavier mouthpieces do offer you a bit more core to your sound, but you do lose a tiny bit of those high-end overtones to you. So if you're someone that likes a lot brighter sound, probably isn't correct for you. And if you like, some of that more meat in the middle of the horn of the sound, this mouthpiece would be great. We find that this mouthpiece actually works very well in the Adams A4 trumpet, which is primarily what I used it on. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. And I actually really like the balance of this mouthpiece as well. In this horn, I haven't played the A1 with a modern Blank mouthpiece yet. Yeah, this gives me, as you can hear over that, a little more of an airy sound too, which I like for like a small group jazz setting for sure. Pete says ding ding because Pete has actually an Adams A4, and he also uses the modern Blank as well. Yes, I will play the trad Blank mouthpiece here, which was the first mouthpiece in the lineup. So for me, yeah, this does have a little bit more of that trumpet sound that people are used to hearing, just because it's more of a common Blank that everyone kind of grows up playing. So moving on is actually one of our kind of hybrid mouthpieces that we've made along with Shogrel, which is one of the companies that we sell horns and mouthpieces and such of over in Austria. So this is their operato mouthpiece, which you can see there. This is, low is upside down. Our inner mouthpiece, and Shoggerl converted it basically into an operato. So we sent them one of our mouthpieces, and they cut it down. It actually almost looks like this on the inside, with threading on the bottom so that it can screw in. And on the top here is a rubber seal that keeps the water from leaking out. I don't open it up here, else it'll spill everywhere. But the operato is really kind of a cool concept. It does give you kind of that sound, like I was saying, with a heavier mouthpiece. It gives you more of those middle overtones without being super heavy, even though it looks like it would be, since it's full of liquid instead of pure metal. It's not that heavy. And if it was pure metal, it would like be very, very heavy for sure. But since it's just liquid, it's not. And we find that the operato stuff works really well in the Shoggerl stuff, which makes sense. Like the rotary trumpets, especially like Ganch horn or the Berlin C trumpet or something like that. But yeah, they make a lot of mouthpieces specifically for rotary horns, especially because that is one of the main things that they do. Although not a lot of people know, they make really great piston trumpets as well. So if you haven't seen them, you should check them out on our site. We have some videos and such up there. So again, Shoggerl operato with the ACB CD mouthpiece on the inside. Actually, quite a good sound. A good sounding mouthpiece. Sorry, a little tongue tied. Grab some water. There we go. It is not too cheap, I will say that, but it is very worth it. The operato is a really great mouthpiece. The one thing you do have to remember is to keep water in it. There is the story that they made the mouthpiece and they gave one to James Morrison, and he went on tour and he forgot to fill it with water, or they didn't tell him to fill it with water. And he called Shoggerl. He's like, "Come on, guys! Like this mouthpiece you made me doesn't play that well." And they're like, "Did you fill it with water?" He's like, "What do you mean fill it with water?" And so he was playing it empty, and the minute he put water in, he was like, "Oh, that's a great mouthpiece." And we do sell his signature size on the site as well. So yeah, Shoggerl operato with ACB inner. Last but not least is one of our custom blanks. I had this actually made for the A4 that I played, and I actually just sold it because I'm buying a new Adams. So this is what we called our Hornet blank, which was made for the horn that was kind of the prototype to the Copernicus trumpet. And we had this modified a little bit in the shape of the blank so that it would almost fit flush with the receiver of the A4, but it not like completely flush, because that we find that does not play well at all if it's actually touching the receiver of the instrument. So I actually don't use this mouthpiece anymore. And I actually found that I like, again, the modern blank, which is this mouthpiece in the A4 a lot better. This was a little too much for me. This one, again, is the Shoggerl, the last one I played had an A1 backbore on it as well. This one has a KA3 backbore on it, which is one of our commercial backboards, and the A1 is more of an open backbore. So yeah, this is again the Hornet blank. I don't think, yeah, so we had the outer diameter matching how big the A4 diameter, so it does stick out a little bit of the standard kind of Adams receiver, but it still looks pretty cool. But on this horn especially, it's like, you know, it kind of wants to like lean backwards with the balance. So I haven't tried this mouthpiece with this trumpet, but we'll see how it works. Actually, doesn't play too badly, but I think it's a little overkill for this instrument. It doesn't balance that well with it in terms of weight and in terms of sound as well. I think it kills some of the good qualities of the A1, which is like those really nice overtones and that zippy response and overall just really good sounding trumpet. So that was the last one in our lineup. I'll go through them again one more time and show you. So this is our traditional blank mouthpiece, our standard blank, in of course the two-piece configuration. This one just looks funny because it has a raw brass backbore. The Ultralight Blank, which is the newest in the lineup. The threaded integral Adams A8 mouthpiece. This is our modern blank mouthpiece. The Chabrol Acrodado mouthpiece with the ACB inner mouthpiece. And our Trumpet Blank mouthpiece. So that's all of the mouthpieces that I have to say for today. And again, that was on the new Adams A1 trumpet. So if you have any questions about any mouthpieces, any ones I played today, or any of the ones in general that we carry, I'd be happy to talk to you. Or the A1 trumpet, any trumpets in general, generally, but I really love the A1 trumpet lately. So feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email. We'll be here for you. And everyone, we hope you stay safe and stay home out there. This is pretty serious, so don't take it too lightly. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next live video.